Okay, so I've been working on a lot of exercises for imbalance, and I've been seeing a physical therapist. He's been great. He's super smart. I completely trust him. Anyway, I've had a few of you ask for the exercises that he's having me do, and I can actually send you the actual copy of them, but some of them are going to be hard to probably understand without actually seeing them. So I thought I would go through what he has me doing so far. So there's dynamic walking drills, and that's just long step, heel down, pick up the speed. So basically you're just going to walk, just walking, and then you need to use the counter and practice walking backwards at a fairly good speed without having that imbalance feeling. And he says when you're walking anywhere, at home, in the community, wherever, turn your head to start at 1 and 11 o'clock distance, progressing to a 9 and 3 o'clock, and subsequently 5 and 7 o'clock, or looking over your shoulder. Pick one direction and back to center every 5 steps. When you turn your head, focus on one thing that's in your field of vision. So like if I'm walking, I will turn my head and actually focus on something that's off to my right, and I need to be able to recall exactly what it is that I looked at. And then I would walk 5 more steps or so, and then I need to look to my left and focus on something and recall exactly what it was. So if it's the time on a clock, or if there's words on a picture, or if you're in a grocery store, an item on a shelf, that you need to really focus on what it is you actually looked at. What walking backwards is to foster the same size step and same speed backwards when compared to forward. Use your kitchen counter for support. Work on the step length, and then when steady, work on the speed. Walk backwards the length of the counter about 5 times per day. So starting out, I'm hoping you can see my feet. Okay, this is my feet side by side, and then I'm putting one foot in the instep of the other foot. And because I've been doing this now for a couple of weeks, I'm a whole lot steadier than I used to be. But before, I would stand, and I still do, stand in front of my kitchen counter. I have it just for support if I need it. But I start right here, and so I set the timer on my watch for 30 seconds. So I will stand with the right foot lined up in the front, and then I hit my timer, and for 30 seconds I'll stand there with my eyes closed. And you're gonna feel swaying, and he says not to try to fight that swaying. He said you want your body to go ahead and do the swaying, because then your inner ear is trying to figure out how to put things back in balance and align. Once that 30 seconds is up, you're gonna change to the opposite foot, and you're gonna hit your timer. Woo, you see I just swayed over. For 30 seconds, close your eyes and stand there. And as you can see, I don't know if it will show on the video, I still have some swaying that happens when my eyes are closed. The goal, so that's gonna be doing 25 each on each side. So it'd be 50 total a day doing that. Now, as that becomes easier, you're wanting to slide your foot out an inch further, and then you do that with each foot. And that may take you a few days, it may take you a couple of weeks to work to that point, but you'll set your timer again, 30 seconds, eyes closed. It gets harder the further your feet are out. The goal is, he said, is to be able to have one foot actually right in front of the other, and set your timer with your eyes closed for 30 seconds. And this is where I am at now in my exercises. As you can see, this is I'm really struggling with that. So if it's a real struggle, then I have to bring my foot back an inch to get things calmed back down. But the goal is to be able to do out here. Now, the next part that you do, also we're going to do 25 on each leg a day, is at the counter. And I do not have a counter right here outside where I'm at. I just have this little table. You're going to set your timer, and your eyes are going to be open for this. You're going to put your hands on the table, the counter, and you're gonna hold up your leg, one leg, for 30 seconds. At any point you start to feel imbalanced, you can just kind of touch you're gonna have one hand down and the opposite hand up here. You can touch the counter, it's called touch and go. So just to make sure you're keeping your balance, you can touch that counter as needed. The goal is to be able to stand for 30 seconds just like this. I have got this part down. This has been good for me. Again, 30 seconds there, and then you're gonna do the other leg, 30 seconds. Since I'm able to do that, my next time I went, I had to start, gets a lot harder. When for 30 seconds I set my timer, I have to set and write the alphabet. Stand here and write the alphabet with my foot for 30 seconds. Again, 30 seconds is over, then you swap and you're going to do the alphabet with your other foot. The next part is, once I got that down, and you're gonna have to give me 1 second because I need to grab it. Is you want to use, he let me borrow his, but I just got mine in the mail, so I'm getting that right now. To make it harder and to really challenge balance, it's called a balance board, basically, balance pad. And you can get them on Amazon. I think this one was like $28, but you can find some for $22 to $40, whatever. But it's foam. And so you want to have it down on someplace that's not going to slide. So now what my exercise is I stand on this, and this will be my first time on this one. It feels a little bit different, but, and now I have to set the timer, 30 seconds, and I have to write the alphabet for 30 seconds, standing on one leg on the balance pad. And then 30 seconds over, and I do that with the other foot. And boy, let me tell you, that is an added challenge, because right now my ankles don't feel super strong, and I really have to concentrate. You definitely want to have a counter next to you so that you can touch it if you need to. If that's too hard, he said, go back to just doing it on the floor until you get good at that, and then add the pad back in. Okay, let's see. The next thing I have to do, because anything with imbalance has to do with either your inner ear, or it's a combination actually of three things. Your inner ear, your eyes, and your legs. So he said my legs are strong. My issues seem to lie more with my eyes and inner ear, but mainly my eyes. That's where yesterday's appointment, all my exercises I'm going to be doing now are going to be really eye related. I've got one more thing to grab here. He first gave me this large letter E, and basically I stick it on the wall in front of me, and you probably are not going to be able to see that right here, but just know it's at eye level. And when I first started, about an arm's length or so away, and I have to focus on that E while I'm doing my head like this. If it becomes blurry at any time, or I feel like I'm going to get sick, I'm to slow down or stop. The goal is to your head beat to the same time as like a metronome, 120. You want it to be able to go that quickly. You don't want a big movements like that. It's just back and forth at a steady speed. And that is for 1 minute. So you set your timer for 1 minute and do that for 1 minute. I hate these, not because they're hard really necessarily, but my neck makes all this crunchy noise inside, and so I really hate listening to that part. Then after that minute's up, I'm going to do the same thing, but my head's going to go up and down. So this I'm able to do, and I pass this part easily. Now, once you're here and that gets easy, you want to be able to back up 10 feet and do the same thing. I can do that. So my next appointment, the E was smaller. The E came down about that small on the page. Same exercise, and he said to do it, 2 to 3 times a day on this one. It's not a lot. And then the small E, same thing. So I haven't progressed to the last stage in this one, and I probably next week will get it. It'll be a small E, but then it'll have all this blurry stuff all around this E on the page. So it's like real busy looking. So I'll have to be able to focus on that E. Also, the one thing and I'm telling you, I believe 100% made a huge difference, was I have to drink half my body weight in ounces. And for me, that's about 74, 75 ounces a day. That was really hard at first. Now it's easy. And as I do these exercises, I do tally marks because my mind right now is just kind of in a brain fog. So I can't remember how many I've done, just keeping up with my head. So every time I complete a set of each leg, I do a tally mark. Every time I drink a whole glass of water, I've measured so I know how much is, in the particular glass I'm using, or if it's a bottle of water, I write down the ounces after I finish it. So then I know where I'm at. I actually had one day where I overdrank water and ended up with major cramping in my legs that night because I'd washed away all my electrolytes. And on my diet, the keto diet, I have to have my electrolytes. Okay, so the eyes, I showed you that. In the head. Now this comes to this next part. So I'm going to stop the video there just because that's all I've been doing the first few weeks, and it's made a huge difference. I will show you in the next video what my new exercises are, and because I just got this yesterday and I haven't done them today, I'm going to have to be kind of referring to them quite a bit. I was trying to think if there was anything else in the walking that I did. I think that's it. Hopefully that's all. I mean, it's nothing hard except for if you truly are struggling with an imbalance. It's going to be hard. It's the first few times of physical therapy, I literally left nauseated because I was having to do things that my body really didn't want to do and had a hard time doing. So that's all gotten tons better. Okay, I'm going to stop that video now.